In this lesson, we are going to continue part 2 of 2 of making a YouTube screencast. If you watched part 1 of 2, you saw me, and I'm right now sitting at the desk that I was sitting at before. I have my microphone set up in front of me, and I have found a quiet place. There are going to be no distractions. I have set up something on my classroom door saying I'm making a YouTube video, and I have downloaded the Screencast software. Now, part 2 of 2 is where I'm going to show you a variety of things in order to make the screencast, convert it, and upload it onto YouTube. So the first thing you're going to want to do is download the appropriate software. The one I use is Blueberry Flashback Express. As you can see here, I've gone to Google, I've Googled Blueberry Flashback Express, and the first link here has a free screen recorder. I could just click on that link, and you'd see here that you could download Blueberry Flashback Express. You never have to upgrade. Even when it asks you to, you can just say, no, I would not like to upgrade, because this is the free version. So that's the first thing you're going to want to do, is download that. Next. You're also going to need a Google account. If you don't have a Google account, you can set one up by just going to google.ca or google.com. The reason you need that is because Google purchased YouTube, and in order to upload a YouTube video, you need a Google account. So as you can see here, if you go to Google, if you don't have an account, it will say here sign up or sign in. I have signed in and I signed up, so you can see my icon here, but just go to google.ca or google.com and set up an account. That will allow you to upload to YouTube later on. Thirdly, you're going to want to prepare your lesson that you're going to make a screencast of. So have the lesson ready. Don't just have a blank screen in front of you, because you may be wasting some of the screen time, because you generally want a lesson between 5 and 12 minutes. Any longer, and it's generally going to be too long for a student's ability to pay attention for very long. So an example here, I can show you the one that we're going to go over, is this example here. I've prepared the question, and I've also prepared some other things. In some cases, you may want to do or insert some pictures. You don't have to be using the OneNote program. You could do screencasts with anything that you like to. You don't have to be using any type of tablet like I use. You could just be recording your voice on Microsoft Word, for example. But prepare some sort of lesson so you're not going to be wasting time. Or here's another example that I was doing with one of my math courses. I've prepared the X and Y axes. I've labeled them. I've also, when we're doing linear inequalities, I've set up what the solution looks like before we've done it. And I've also have some fill in the blanks here. This would take much longer if it wasn't prepared. It would probably take about 25 minutes to get through a lesson, and this lesson would now take about 8 minutes or so. So back to that part. So prepare a lesson. You want it between 5 and 12 minutes. Finally, in getting to the recording, be aware that you only have one take. I don't edit my videos at all. So if you're a perfectionist, you're going to want to do it perfect the first time. If you're not, you're just going to have to make do with some of the distractions that may come up. And this becomes less awkward as you do these screencasts. So make sure there's no distractions. So what you'd want to do is click on your Blueberry Flashback Express, and at that point, I can't click on it right now because I'm already recording with it, but after you clicked on it, you would see a screen something like this one here. Okay, it'll say welcome here, and I just click on continue. The next screen that you'll see here may or may not look the same as this, and you may or may not get it. It always tells me I have an update available. Now, I believe that if something is working, I don't want to try and fix it. I've been wrecked that way before, so I always just click cancel. It won't close Blueberry Express. I just click cancel, and it goes to the next screen, because I do not update anything unless something's not working. Next, I click on record a new movie. That's the next thing that I see. And the next screen I see is this. Yours may look different now because you have a newer version of Flashback Express, but it has the same basic concept. I record in full screen. You can record just a certain portion of your screen, so if you don't want some of these toolbars, you can select not to. I used to do that. The reason that I use the full screen now is that it uploads a higher quality video, because there's no editing, or the pixels have the same number as YouTube, so you can use the highest quality upload. So at that point you press record, and when you press record, what you're going to see is an icon maybe in your tray here that says, well, my recording right now is 4 minutes and 49 seconds, but it'll flash and say it's recording. So pretend that I pressed this. I'm going to record a lesson now. So after I press record, I'd have this open, and I'd say, welcome class, or whoever I'd like to talk to. We're working on example number 3. Here's the question. It takes 1 minute and 55 seconds to fill a 60-liter gas tank. How long, to the nearest second, will it take to fill a 35-liter tank? Now, one thing that you're going to want to do to solve this type of problem is to know the goal. We want to know how long it takes to fill up 35 liters. Now, since we know the units, we can set up the original units in the correct order. So we know it takes 1 minute and 55 seconds to fill up 60 liters. Now, one method that you could use is a unit rate method, is if we knew how long it took to fill up 1 liter, we could then times that time by 35, and we'd have the time it takes to fill up 35 liters. So the first thing you want to do is convert the 1 minute and 55 seconds into 1 minute or 115 seconds. You can only use one type of unit, and that is per 60 liters. If I divide that by 60, I would get the amount of time that it takes to fill up 1 liter. So if I do 115 divided by 60, I get 1.916 continued seconds, 1.916 continued seconds. And if I multiply that by 35 liters, that will give me the amount of time it takes to fill up 35 liters. So times that 1 liter time by 35, and I have 67 seconds. So it's 67 seconds. Okay, once I'm done a lesson, I would click on the icon and I would click stop. I'm not going to click stop now because I'm actually recording a lesson for you on how to make screencasts. But after I press stop, what I would see is this. Right here, it will ask me, do I want to save it or discard? I would save it, and save it as any file type that I'd like to, and save it in a folder where you know you can find it. I have set up a folder called Blueberry Flashback Movies in my documents, and then click save. After that point, the next step, you've saved the file that you've made, is you're going to want to convert it to a file type that's usable on YouTube. So you're going to want to find and open the file that you saved, and then choose a format that will upload to YouTube. I'll show you what I mean by that. So when I find the file, so my file is right here. So I'm going to open the file. And next, just press pause because I want to upload it. I want to export it to a different file type. So I'm going to click on export. Yours may look different again because you have a newer version of Blueberry Express perhaps. I save it as a flash type. I used to save AVI, but YouTube for some reason won't let me upload it. So just try different types of upload files. I do flash, and I save it as an FLV type, not an SWF. Not sure the difference, but that's what works for me. So once you want to export it, just click on export when you have the file type and just save it in the same folder. And you'll see my computer is converting the file to an FLV. So that is the 5th step of how to make a YouTube lesson. So finally, and I don't need to view it, it's already saved. So the final thing that I need to do, as you can see here, is I need to upload it to YouTube. So you want to go to youtube.com. I've converted the file, so I want to go to youtube.com. And if I have a Google account, you'll see you want to sign in. You'll see a toolbar up here that is for Google users only. I would like to upload that file. And you can just click on here, select files to upload, and go ahead and find the file. The file that I want to upload is my FLV file, not my Blueberry Flashback Express file. It's this one here. If you make a mistake, it'll say that it doesn't work, so try something new. Open up the file again and export it in a different way. So here I go. I'm going to click on here, and it's uploading, as you can see here. This will generally take much longer. I made a really short video to upload just to show you a short amount of time. It's processing. You can give it different title names. You can always go back and edit this. You can give it a description. You can give it tags. You can make it public or private. There's tons of things you can do it. And this will usually take a certain amount of time depending on how big your file is. Mine says here that the upload is complete. So I'm going to go ahead and publish that video. And now I've published it. So if you have a YouTube channel, you could tell people that you have that. You could tweet out that you made a video. Another thing you could do is what I often do with my classes. You can go into Video Manager here and put it into a playlist. So I have different playlists for different chapters. So I could, for example, click on this and put it into, so go to Add To, and again YouTube changes its interface as well, so this may look different than what you have. I could add this to my Foundations Chapter 8 playlist, and now that lesson is part of my Chapter 8 course. So, and you can use that in any way that you like to. And that's how to create. And actually, let's just review that. Here's the exact thing that we just did and what's going to be necessary. You need a software, you need a Google account, you need to prepare your lesson, you don't want it too long, you need to record it, and you only have one take, or you may have to restart the process. You need to convert it, so open it up and convert it to a file that can be uploaded, and finally you need to go to youtube.com and upload the file, and it can be added to a variety of different types of playlists.